I would let the YouTube comment section talk me into a magical AI indicator. It looked perfect on the screen and the hype was everywhere. But after 2 months of data, I realized that this indicator was a disaster for my account. I ended this test with a minus 1.4% return and a brutal 22% win rate. It wasn't the AI revolution I was thinking of, and I'm officially pulling the plug because I'm not going to backtest it for another 2 months. Today, I'm showing you the raw backtest results so you don't have to waste your time or money. More importantly, I'm sharing why failing this test actually gave me more confidence in the strategies that actually work for me. Let's jump into the charts. All right, so we are here on TradingView. Since this is a custom indicator, I can't do this on TradeZella. So what I've done is I'm in replay mode and I've taken us back to the beginning of March. As you can see, we're on the 9:30 candle for March 3rd, 2026. So very relatively recent data. And I've started the indicator. I'm on the 15-minute, and what I will do is I'll do my best to adhere to these rules here that I've placed. So starting off, we'll track price action on the 15-minute. Once price enters these discount areas that the indicator is denoting as Fibonacci key zones, according to the market structure it is tracing, we'll jump down to the 1-minute. Here we'll find our entry in the same fashion that we've always done, which is some sort of market structure shift. And that'll become clearer as we look at the backtest examples that will work through. From there, we'll set a take profit at the indicator level. In this case, it would be all the way down here. And we'll break even at 50% as a form of capital preservation and frankly, a reflection of best practices that I take in my live trading. The stop losses will be placed in areas that make sense according to most recent price structure on the 5-minute, let's say. Very similar to how we have done it on SMC concept videos in the past. So those are the rules that we'll follow. I'll throw those just out of our way here and clean up our charts. Since we again are on TradingView, we don't have an automatic kind of capture of data. So I'm going to leverage this table I've created to keep us organized in the information. I'm just going to track wins and losses. I'm going to anchor it so that it always stays in the bottom right corner of my screen. And I'll just mark off the wins in terms of or R, and then we'll add it up all together. In the end, this will also give us a sense of our win rate as well. So as I said, we're at beginning of March 2026. I'm going to do this through April. So 2 full months of data, and let's jump in. So 9:30 open. We're just waiting for price to hit our area just like this. And you'll notice that the indicator does update with every candle close, which I guess is helpful so that you're leading with the latest information. And since we already know we're in the discount area, I'm looking for a market structure shift on the 1-minute. For me, that's all the way down here since there's no other area where we can identify sellers that's coming in. Now, as price moves up, that line changes. This is the new line here. Let's see. This is a 3-candle pullback, which is what I denote as a swing low in this point. So there's our market structure shift, right? This low that put in this high was just taken by aggressive sellers. For entry, we'll drop to a 5-minute. And I like this order block here, this buy to sell candle. So I'll replace my stop just above that buy. And I'm going to go back to the 15-minute to find where the target is, which is all the way down here. So that would result in an 8-hour trade. So pretty crazy, but this is what the videos show, that if you are able to sell in these areas in a bearish market, then you can find your targets here. So I'm going to jump to the 5 to play this out since I'm not officially tagged in and see what happens. So I get tagged in, immediately stopped out. So that didn't work out for me. Now I'm curious. Now there's the break of structure. They do have a swing low here. Maybe it's better to go with these swing lows since we are going to try and follow market structure in the sense that if the price breaks above this, we have a change of character. So let me redo that. Let me just moving forward, use the swing structures that the indicator gives as my area. So that 8-hour trade turned into a 3.38, which is fine. And it didn't matter. There's our change of character. So it's nice to know that the indicator works, but we can log a -1 here and I'll keep another rule that I didn't have out there, but 1 trade per day, since we're not change character and we're also in the Asia session. So I don't trade Asia or London. So for my purposes, I'm going to fast forward through those until we get back to a 9:30 candle, which would be here. So immediately 9:30 brings us into the discount zone since we are bullish. Drop down to the 1. I want to see this level broken. Since we make a new low, our next highest point in this trading zone is here. And there's our break. We'll drop down to the 5 minutes. Looking for longs. So I'll place my entry here. My stops, let's go to the 15-minute to identify our stops. Now our swing low is all the way down here, which is unrealistic stop loss for me. What I'll do is I'll compromise and just kind of make sure I stay inside the golden zone of the Fibonacci retracement. If we're going beyond that, then maybe we're likely to change direction. I'll still target the level that the indicator gives, so it gives me a 2.54. Let's play it out, see what happens. Get tagged in. We're working overnight now, but since this is a 4x trade, I can lead trades on overnight. Now, you'll notice that the target level changed, but I'm not awake at this time to do anything about it. So it is what it is. We also haven't hit 50%. So Asia comes and stops me out. So that would be a loss there. And we'll move forward. Clean up the charts here a little bit. This to 930. So again, we're bearish now, according to the indicator. We're waiting for price to come into our premium area. So that does happen, but at 3 p.m. So I typically stop trading at noon. So we're not going to count this as an opportunity for us. Fast forward through the next day. Okay, this is 930. So we're still bearish. There's our, well, we're wanting back just to make sure we don't miss that thing. We moved into the premium area of the leg. And I'm looking for this. I mean, my level of my 3-candle pullback is all the way down here, and I don't have any 2 candles. So I have to be honest about where I'm going to target. There's a break, which moves my mind all the way here. Actually, all the way here, because we break this. It's a 3-candle pullback in there. We have another one. This is the 3-candle pullback ever so slightly here, actually. And there's our confirmation. Now I'm going to go back to the 15-minute. We're still bearish. We can see that we're outside our golden zone, but we haven't broken above this lower high that the indicator has given. So this is still a valid entry for me. I'm going to drop to 5. Let's see what I can find. I'll just look at this last buy and sell, and then go to the 15-minute to put my stops just above London high, which happens to be the lower high of the leg, and target all the way down here for 5.59 trade. Okay, we get tagged in and stop down. With another -1, and we'll move on to the next day. The price does eventually go, but it swept London high. So that's in retrospect, it looks obvious, but there was no reason necessarily. Maybe Asia high was there too. Let's see. If I placed the highs above Asia high, it would have been a winner. Just looking at it, still wouldn't have hit yet, but if they had, I would have had a chance. But the rules are the rules in the sense that we protected ourselves from the identified lower high. Now, if we would have added nuance of liquidity nearby and all this, we could. Maybe I'll consider that moving forward, but have to take the trade for what it is in that moment. It also would not have hit take profit, so probably would have been out at break even at best. Here we go. 10 o'clock, we get moved into our discount level of interest. Our area to beat is right here. Okay. There's the candle that breaks us over. We dropped to, we want to make sure we're still bullish. We're very much out of the zone, but let's see what we can catch maybe. Actually, I don't know how you would play this, even just say 5 minutes. Have a long here. I'm just going to protect myself against this session low. The reason I'm doing that is because if I was going to protect myself against this higher low down here, my stop loss would be crazy. So I'm just going to protect myself against the session low on this point because my lower already is suffering. This is a 1.52 trade. I'll see how we'll hopefully, I'll remove my entry down further on the 15-minute because there's a small 15-minute fair value gap right here. And that helps my LR at least to be over 2 hours. So let's see how that goes. Yeah. Don't get tagged down here. So that's the end of the day. So that didn't work out either. We move the next day. And as I'm doing this, I feel like it's worth saying out loud that I want this indicator to work. The way Willie Algo Trader promotes it, it makes it seem like this great thing. And I really want this to work, but this is why I do the back tests to see if it's really viable in the long term. So anyways, we're back to 930 here. I got to the 1 minute since we're already in our discount zone. I'm looking for price break above this level, moves down to this level now. Since we continue to move price lower, this not a break above and below. So there's our break above our key level that we were identifying. We're still bullish. So I'll look for an entry. 5 minute like this here. Let's see where. Okay. Our higher low is right here. So I'm going to protect myself on that. There's a lot of stack liquidity. So I'm using the lesson learned. I'm going to protect myself on there, like giving myself a buffer and then targeting the upper bound for basically a 3-hour trade. Let's see. As of 2 o'clock, we would have gotten tapped in, and immediately there's a liquidation again that takes us out. So -1, well, forward. Rewind back here, since at 9:45 we enter the premium area of the lag ends presented by the indicator, drop down to a 1 minute. This is our key level to beat, since that is the last place where buyers came in to move price aggressively. Just to explain her. Price shops around a bit, but then we finally get the break below. Got for the 15 minute. Then I looked at the buy to sell candle here. Our lower high is all the way up here, but I don't want that big a stop loss. So I'm going to protect myself again and just look at I see this as a manipulation. This candle right here, this candle wick. So I'll place myself just above that, target the low, which at this point, I'm just going to put these type of trades on, even though it's a 1.6, just to see if sticking to things closer makes me more profitable. It does not. So that's a mistrade. We can fast forward. Okay. Says we're still bearish. See if we can tap into the premium zone. Do not. So we're going to move on to the next day. Sorry, guys, too far. So 930 is right here. We start off in there. 930 is here. We do liquidate the previous high. So I want to jump in and see if I can get an entry. This is the last level where buyers came in to break this high by candle closed. 3 candle pullback. So there's our candle close below it. Drop to the 15 minute. And for shorts, this buy and sell candle. Now this is an instance where our lower high is all the way up here. You can see that according to the indicator. This is too big of a stop loss for me. So I don't want to put my stop loss here. It says London high is right here. So I'm going to protect myself against London high. It's still a very large stop loss. And I'm going to target here for a 3.25. This position, and then we're tagged in and in profit. At this point, I would call this 50%. So I'm going to say that we'd be at break even at this level if we get back to our entry. We're on overnight. So I would have moved myself to break even already. And that's break even. That's a break even trade right there. We find ourselves at 930 the next day anyway. So let's see if we can get into the discount zone of this bullish leg. We don't before time runs out on us. So we'll move forward. Okay, still bullish. So let's see if we can get into the discount zone. We can't. So move on to the next day. Okay, we do get into the premium zone with this 10 a.m. candle right here. Drop down to the 1. This is interesting. Let's see what's going on here. 15. Okay, so we have a steep push down. So I need to identify when where this wick is. Okay, so this wick is all the way here. I'm going to identify this as my level to beat and to show me that prices will go lower. Price again. So this becomes our new level. Okay, there's our price breakdown below the key level. We're still bearish, which is good. Not really seeing anything here. I can maybe see this as an order block here, so I'll target that. As for stops, swing highs all the way up here, so that's not going to do. I'm going to just, okay, I was going to protect myself against this local high here. That'll give me a decent order lower. Let's see what happens. Get tagged in. Okay, we're at break even now at this point. All right, and we actually win. That's a 2.75 win. Now you can play around with this. You'll notice that the target went further down. We could take partials and things like this to extend our winning trades, which is definitely an option. Although the math on this will be a little bit difficult, so I'm not going to do that. In any case, it reverses more or less on us. So that 2.75 is good enough for me. I'll take that. And we'll move on to the next day. Okay, the bullish, we're in discount. Drop to the 1. This is the level I want to see beat. There it is. Go to 15 minutes to see if they're going to be better on 5 minute. I'll take the point of inflection and the high that was beat. I'll protect myself against the lows here. Even though our lower low is all the way down here. Gosh, this really doesn't do me any favor in space. Let's see what happens. Maybe if we end up in profit, we can extend our runner to be more favorable for us. We definitely want to make sure we protect ourselves more than anything. So they were tagged in. Let's see if we get into profit. Our target is still where, okay, now our target has moved up, so I'm going to trail it while the price is in our favor. Question is, and at this point, I'd probably be at break even. I'd certainly be at break even. I'm going to continue extending. I've moved back to break even. I'd probably leave it alone here to break even. Don't want to look too much. This is consolidating. Continues to consolidate. So I know we're in New York session, but I'm still in a trade, so I wouldn't take anything. I wouldn't take on any new positions. We are bearish now, so that's not going to do me any favors. We're in the second day, and we're at break even. So the most I could have gotten this for would have been a 1.5, which isn't great. You'd have to have a really high win percentage to make that happen. Oh, actually, sorry, it's not line 0, it's a break even. So we'll move forward to New York session next day here. Are we at time? We're at the end of March, almost. So keep it going. Okay, 9:30 appearance. Price has not hit our discount zone. Doesn't look like it's going to at times, so we're going to move forward into the next day. Going back too far. Okay. But here's 9:30. We are bearish now. We hit our zone. So we dropped to the 1. I'll take this last 2 candle pullback. So our level to beat. There it is. I can already tell that this is going to be good for us. So I wouldn't have known this at this point. And I dropped to the 5 to find an entry. So my short would be here, that fair value gap. Let's go to the 15 minute to see there's a lower high right here. So let's just protect ourselves on that. The target is down here. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah, right, that's high. I forgot that we immediately get stopped out in this particular case. So that's a -1. Let's keep it moving. To the next day. All right. So here we go, 9:50 approaching. Let's see if we get any price action in our premium zone. We don't. Oh, no, wait, days not. Yeah. At this point, I would be moving away from the charts. So that is a no trade day. Okay, now we approach the next day. we get activity into our area. Let's see if there's a market structure shift in there. This would be the line to beat. We wick, but we don't close below. That's what we need to see. And we actually get a new candle. So this becomes the line to beat again. Okay, here's our candle close below right here. So chapter 5, see this as a collection of orders that I would want to target. Now you'll notice I'm not using volume profile or any kind of other stuff here, since I don't want to complicate this effort too much. The trading should be simple, as I've heard. And so I don't want to complicate things too much. So here we go. This for our trade. Just miss our entry. This is after hours, so I'm not going to say that's a loss. It's just a no entry, and we keep it moving. March 26th here. Okay, went too far. And so here's we're already in the premium area of the leg. So go ahead and drop down for 1 minute. This is the level to beat. And this becomes the new level to beat. So the tricky price action. Let's see if the order flow has changed. No, we are swing high here. So let's see. Price continues to move up then. Okay, we do get a breakdown here. This would have been the level to beat here, like around this area. So we definitely get that. So let's see. 5 minute. Just maybe this inverted fair value here. There that we see here. Or 50 minute, I'm going to cover my. Looks like we've already liquidated the lower high. So this one seems a lot more favorable than the other ones that we've come across. Let's see if we can get tagged back in. We can't before price goes in the expected direction. So that's unfortunate. Finish London. Moving into New York now. Let's see if we can get into the premium zone. We do not. They're going to need to walk away from this day. Yes. So the last trading day of March. Okay, price continues moving up. We need to wait for it to come back into discount, which it does not. So that's the last day of March. So as a quick check-in, we are minus 2.25 for March. Terrible after 6 trades. So we're 1 of 6. Not a great win rate. So we'll keep going. 1 month is good, but it's not great. So we can do 2 months here with the amount of data we have available to work with on TradingView. So we'll keep going. Fast forward to the next day, which would be April 1st. Not too far. Let me just rewind back. They need to wait for price to get into discount. It does, but too late in the day. This is already around 2 o'clock. Don't like to get into trades after 12, frankly. So this would not be aligned with my real rules. So I'm past it. It doesn't look like it was a good decision since price goes lower. Let's see if we can. Okay. Back to New York session. Next day, price does move into discount. Or just rewind back. Make sure we're not missing anything. To the 1. Yeah. So yeah, so this is the level to beat here with a 1 minute structure. Price chops around. We're past 12 o'clock at this point. And yeah, I wouldn't take any trades at this point anyway, since we're basically just chopping around. So we're going to move past this day as well. Okay, let's see. All right. We're bearish. Again, the premium, we don't. Keep it moving. Okay, we're bullish again. Okay, let's see if we can get discount. We do. Heavy into discount. This is the level to beat. And we finally do just before 12. So I will take that. So it's fair value gap here. I'll target on the 5 minute. there seems to be some type of liquidation of a low here. So I'm going to put my stop just underneath that. And my target will be all the way up here. All right. So I get tagged in and tagged out. So April is a loss. Okay. Fast forward to New York. Need to get into discount. Don't. So that is that day done. Forward. Okay. Bullish. Okay, we enter discount. Let's see if we have already shut the ship. Line to beat is all the way up here. Okay, we create a new low. So our line to beat moves to this high. Create another low. The highest point that was created before that low is then here. So let's check back in on the 15-minute. We're still bullish. We're just deep into this discount zone. Again, we break. So this becomes the high event. It's checking on 15-minute. We're also at 2 o'clock. At this point, I'm probably going to just walk away. So we're doing anything, and we do get the change of character according to the indicator. So there you go. So past. We do tap into the discount here. Let's just go back to that moment. Okay. This is our line to beat. Just remove this old line. There it is. That's our break above. So I dropped to a 5-minute. There's a small fair value gap right here. Middle target. See where our stops make sense. Well, there's a low right here that I'm going to protect myself against. Maybe it's a safe area. It also gives me a relatively decent RR. Okay. And well, that price goes where else. So that's a no trade. A lot of mistrades. I'm not recording those, but at least half a dozen, I think, mistrades here. Okay. All right, 9:30. It's right here. Let's see if we can get into discount. Nope, when we're done with the day, keep it moving. And so we turn bullish, but never get back to the discount. So that's a mistake. Fast forward. Looking to get into discount again. This is too late in the day for me now, so I'm not going to trade on that. I will say, I'll hit the pause here, that the indicator does have this dashboard thing that it offers. Frankly, it's very complicated. There's a lot of information here, and I found that it was confusing me more than helping. So that's why I chose to hide it. Now, if you watch the video that I'll leave a link for in the description, there's all kinds of reasons for that information, but I'm trying to find something that can be repeatable and simple as I day trade while working a full-time job. So it's not like this is my day job. I need something I can easily kind of track and follow through on. This is a session. So that's why I have these perspectives. 9:30 candle. So it's interesting here that we were already in premium, and the 9:30 candle pushes us out of it. I'd want to see a liquidation of something. So like New York high here before I just like that, but that initiates a change of character, which is frankly fine. You can go into discount. I'd be happy to take a trade. We don't. It's not inside my window. So we're going to move on. Okay. So again, so let's see. Give it way back. Okay. Let's see what we get here. Some line moves. Okay, so we touch our premium zone right here. Let's see if we get an entry. Break below this, be our entry. And it's too late in the day at this point. We do see it move out of premium here, but the problem is that it doesn't take any key level. It's taking these internal levels, which is not something I trade against. So that's why I don't enter trades based on those internal kind of grabs. So the next day, okay. Okay, so here's our trade. Okay. Re-enter discount. So we can see the steps down coming here, right? We can see swing high, low, high, low. And this is what I'm tracking to. So all of this is here. We don't get any kind of 3-candle pullback, or do we? There's an ever so slightly 3-candle pullback right there. So what I'll do is I'll call that as my level. Right here. If we can break price above, nice Clio right there. And we're past my usual trading window here, so I'm not going to entertain this as an option. All right, we're almost done the backtest. Got an event discount right here. Level of obedience really here, since these sellers did not close price below, so the price can push up beyond this level. It does. So we identified this fair value gap on the 5-minute and set our target. See how this plays. We do not get tagged in, so we should look forward. Pushing the final weeks here, April, end of this backtest exercise. We are bearish, looking for some price action into premium zone, which happens here at part of the 930 open. This is the 3-candle pullback low that I want to break, which we do. We actually break higher, so our new line would be right here. We break that aggressively, jump to the 5-minute. Brings this inverted fair value gap on the 5-minute. Let's see how it looks on the 15. Our swing high is up here, so I'm not going to place my stops all the way there, but rather put my stops just above London high. My target would be out here for 2.3. Don't get tagged in. That's another mistrade, huh? I am reflecting what I think would be a reasonable application of this indicator. As I said before, I don't think these indicators should be too complicated to use. Since most of us are full-time traders, we're just trying to build a skill. And so that's why I'm using it this way without diving too much into it, especially when it's presented in a way that's meant to be easy. We turn bearish. Let's see if we can head into premium. We do. So let's jump into the 1-minute. Swing lows all the way out here. Wick and break. Just jump to the 15-minute. Let's do the buy and sell candle here. Right, it's down here for 2.4 our trade. We tag in. I am using limit orders. Perhaps there's a benefit to using market orders. Now, I don't use market orders in my trading, so that's why I default to limit. We have seen price move away from us often, so maybe that's an option. I do know that when you do use market orders, you do have to give up some RLR there. So let's see what happened here. We're 8.5, it's not even 930. If you do the 930, we sweep. There's working session high, liquidate, run down. We're still bearish. So let's see if we have an order flow shift here. Line would be down here. And there's your break. Okay. Actually, we can take advantage of here. Let's say we target this order block. We place our stops above that liquidation and target this low for a 4-hour trade. Looks like we're, hold on. Okay, since this candle's messing with us here, let's stop here. We can move that there and then see what the price action is for us. So yeah, so this is where our entry will be. This candle would tag us in. Okay, so we're in the trade now. All right, we'd be at break even. We're in overnight trade now. and we get stopped down at break even. So that is break even trade there. So since that would have been New York session, we wouldn't get into any other trades. So we're going to fast forward to the final week of April here, move into discount on this bullish trend. This is the line to beat. This would be our new line to beat here. Continue to create new lows. So let's see. This is our new line to beat here. I should check in on the 15-minute. We haven't changed character yet, so you can still look the longs. Something may here, given here. Nope, our swing low is all the way down here, so we have this is our breakup structure. So now we can look for a long position. I'll just bring it this low here. I'll protect myself against the swing low since it's closer than it typically is. And we'll target the level that the indicator gives. See how this plays out. Okay, we're tagged in. Okay, we're still in the trade since we're overnight trading, but that's a shame. So all right, so we'll move on. To be honest, not terribly happy with the performance here of the indicator. Let's see, we added premium. To beat it all the way out here. Higher. Continue to go higher. So let's see. Way down here. Okay, that looks like a shift. So we have. Yeah, that's our shift right there. So let's go to 5-minute, find an entry for ourselves. Nice order block here. We'll protect ourselves above this high. Where is the target? Target's all the way down here. 9-hour trade, 3 crazy. So then and out. Coaching, final few days here. Sorry, too far back. Yeah, we're bullish, but now change character. So let's see, we do get tapped in. There's a shift inside that move. This would be the level to beat. This is actually we do get a market structure shift if we do close above this high. So let's rewind back, see if we can find an entry to get involved in. Let's target this order here, order block perhaps. Market is down here. We get tagged in. That's 50%, so we're break even and we get a win. So it's a 2.70 win. We can see that price continues. I'm happy with the 2.78. I don't know if this is going to continue down. It doesn't go that much further, so good thing we didn't chase price now. And I think this is going to be our last day here. Let's see if we get tagged in. I have to wait for 9:30 though. Okay, that's 9:30. I want to see a sweep. I would have liked to see a sweep there of Asia, the current low. I wouldn't have traded this in real time, even though it's beneficial to me, but that does it. That takes me to April 30th. Overall, not very impressed with my experience here. So we end up with a minus 1.47 over 2 months, which frankly isn't terrible to be down just by less than 2% after 2 months. What concerns me more is the win rate. We won 2 of 9 trades, so that's 22%, which again is not great, especially when your ROR is averaging around 2.75. That math isn't going to work for you. After backtesting this indicator over 2 months and what would be 9 trades, I would integrate in my trading journey. I would want to test this further for another 2 months, given the track record. Now, with that said, maybe your trading style is different. If you have another alternative that you'd like to use, then feel free to share that in the comments. If you have questions on the assumptions I made or the decisions I took, then drop that in the comments as well. I'm not a guru. I'm just someone like you trying to figure this out and use backtesting tools and strategies to validate if these indicators and if these strategies are actually worthwhile for me to use in my day to day. If this video helped you, then subscribe. And if you'd like to see another breakdown just like this, then check out this video right here. Every trade teaches me something. And this next video may help you see the charts a little bit differently. I'll see you there.